Perhaps you've made the decision to finally step out and try something you've been thinking about for ages. Or perhaps an opportunity has presented itself and you are excited and motivated just thinking about the possibilities. Whatever your situation, deciding to go after something you want requires some serious guts. It's not something for the faint-hearted. It's not something for those who get frustrated and quit easily. It requires that you have enough confidence that you're willing to do the hard work that it takes. The question then becomes, how do you increase your confidence when it's running low? Hi, if we've not met before, I'm Shelley from Taming Frenzy, and today we're going to talk about 10 tips that will help you increase your inner confidence. The first step is to keep in mind that smiling and laughing increases your confidence. Now, you may be wondering, how on earth does just smiling or laughing make you appear more confident? But if you think about it, what we're really talking about is the image that we're presenting to the world. And let's think about the type of people that we're drawn to. Are we drawn to people who appear cold and standoffish and unfriendly? Of course not. Most of us are drawn to people who appear to be friendly and approachable. These are people who make us feel comfortable coming up to them because we don't feel like we're going to be rebuffed or ignored. It doesn't really matter how old we are. Most people like to interact with people who appear approachable and friendly and accepting. Besides, the simple act of smiling and laughing and being approachable will make others feel more confident being around you, which will make you more confident as well. So, to boil it down, be friendly, be approachable. The simple act of smiling and laughing will make you feel more confident, which will make you look more confident to the outside world. Second tip, always be prepared to face the world. Now, just because you're a bit older, or because you're retired, or because you no longer work outside the home, doesn't mean that it's still not a good idea to get dressed for your day. It's always a good idea to get dressed and be presentable, whether you think you're expecting company or not. And when we take an effort to look our best, there's a psychological component that comes into play here. Because it's very easy once you get a little bit older, or you retire, or you start working from home, it's really easy to quit paying that much attention to how you dress and how you present yourself to the world. It becomes very easy to quit paying attention to your skin and to your face and to your makeup and to your hair and to your clothing. And after all, you justify it by telling yourself, well, nobody's really going to see me anyway. The problem is that when you continue to neglect your appearance, it reflects in your confidence. It always comes out in some way. And that way is frequently that we feel less confident in ourselves and therefore in our abilities as well. My Nana used to always say that on those days when we feel the least confident or the least amount of motivation or the least whatever it be, that those are the most important days to get up, get dressed, do our best to put ourselves together, and put our best foot forward. In other words, those are exactly the days when paying a little more attention to the way you look makes a big difference in how you feel. Now, while this may seem like I'm being shallow or vain, I assure you I'm really not. Because let's face it, it's really not so much how we actually look as how we feel like we look that really is what's important here. Now, I'm not saying you need to gussy up, that you need to look like a beauty queen. Goodness knows I don't. But presenting your best self to the world makes you feel more confident. It gives you that little bit of extra oomph that you need when you're going after something new, when you're chasing a new dream, when you're working on some new opportunity that's come your way. And that inner confidence comes out and makes you appear more confident on the outside as well. It's amazing what just a little bit of effort can do for our confidence, even if we think nobody's going to see us. Tip number 3, goal setting is good for your confidence. Unfortunately, a lot of us are lousy at goal setting. Here's the thing with goals. Most people either set goals that are so low it's not going to really take any work to achieve them, or that are so high there's no way they're going to achieve them. Neither one of those is good. Both of these leave you feeling like a failure, and they totally undermine your confidence. In order to achieve our goals, we need to set goals that are realistic, that we can achieve with a little bit of stretch and a little bit of extra work, and then to break them down into smaller, bite-sized, manageable pieces. And as we work on those smaller pieces and begin to see that we're making progress and hitting milestones, that begins to build the confidence that we feel inside. As we achieve each little piece and move each little bit forward, our confidence builds, we feel better about ourselves. But it all starts with setting the goals in the first place, writing them down, and taking the steps to make them happen. Tip number 4, build momentum by making small changes. This one goes right along with the previous tip. Smaller goals help you build momentum. They help you build habits and build routines. And most experts will tell you, don't try to change everything at once. Don't try to implement too many new things because you're setting yourself up for failure. But it's amazing how small changes and small tweaks over time equals a great big difference in the long run. So focus on one small thing, do it until it becomes a routine or becomes a habit, and then add the next little piece and do the same thing over and over. Once you have implemented one habit or one new good thing or learned one new skill, then it's time to add the next one. The 5th tip is to remember that focusing on solutions is always better than focusing on problems. You may have noticed that when you focus on problems, your confidence takes a real nosedive. Now, focusing on solutions doesn't mean that I'm telling you to just ignore problems and that they'll just magically go away, because we're all old enough to know that that's life and we all have problems and they don't just magically go away. However, this little shift in mindset from focusing on the problem and how terrible and how bad it is and how awful and how it's never going to get better, shifting our mindset to thinking about the possible solutions that we can implement to solve this problem makes a world of difference. And that mindset also comes out and other people begin to notice that. Most importantly, though, you begin to notice that when you focus on solutions instead of problems, that you begin to feel more confident in your ability to solve those problems. So focus on finding and implementing solutions. You will feel more in control, which will increase your confidence. Tip number 6, exercise increases our confidence. Exercising will help increase your confidence in several different ways. First, it'll help you look and feel better. This will help you present a more confident self to the world. Second, our brain releases chemicals when we exercise, and all those feel-good chemicals that get released into the brain help us to feel better. It increases our motivation and gives us confidence. Both of these benefits, looking better and feeling better, help increase the confidence level that we exhibit. Plus, we feel a sense of achievement when we have implemented that exercise routine, no matter how big or small it is. Just the fact that we're able to check it off our list, tell ourselves that we've done something that is good for ourselves, that's good for our health, that's good for our appearance, is very motivating and boosts that confidence level that you feel. By the way, if you're finding some help in this video and in these tips, be sure and hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel for more. A 7th tip is that keeping a success log or a kudo file helps to remind you that you are a competent individual. Now, the idea of keeping a success log or a kudo file may seem kind of weird to you, but this is something that I used to always recommend to my teachers. This is something that you can keep either on a physical journal or paper, or that you can keep digitally in an app or in a Word document of some sort. But this is where you keep and you track the good things that you've done, the successes that you've had. If someone pays you a compliment, write it down. If someone sends you a nice note, file it away, keep it. If you have a success of some kind, or you've reached some kind of milestone, write it down, record it. And then on those days when you're feeling kind of blah and you just really don't have that confidence that you need to propel you forward, open up that file or pull it out of the desk drawer and look back at all the things that have gone well for you, the compliments, the thank yous, the successes. Doing that will help remind you of your competence and your success and will immediately increase the confidence that you feel. Keeping a success log or a kudo file is a tangible reminder of your competence, which helps your confidence. Tip number 8, more gratitude equals more confidence. You have probably heard all about adopting an attitude of gratitude, maybe even to the point where you kind of roll your eyes at it a little bit because it just kind of sounds and feels like a cliche. But there's a reason why this particular attitude is so widely suggested, and that's because it helps you become cognizant of the things that are going well in your life, of those blessings and those gifts and those things that you have. And instead of ignoring those things, as we tend to get blind to them, and focusing on all the bad things, it helps us to focus on the good things and the positive. For me, this has made a humongous difference in my own personal journey, especially having been diagnosed with a health impairment. This helps me immensely to focus on the things that I can still do, the things that I still have, the things that I can still enjoy, and the blessings that I've been given, rather than focusing on the things I've lost, or on the health impairment, or on the things I can't do anymore. For me personally, this has made a world of difference in my outlook and in my mindset. It's also hard to get down on yourself and feel no confidence when you realize how truly blessed you probably are. It's also much harder to beat on yourself, and a lot of us have been masters at that. So take some time each day to count your blessings, to experience gratitude, and to focus on the positive things in your life. It's a great way to improve your mood and to boost your confidence at the same time. Tip number 9, uplifting music can be a real confidence booster. Now, there's a reason why people make playlists of their favorite music, or why they make playlists of music that encourages them to work out and push themselves physically harder. Music is a great mood booster, which in turn makes us feel better about ourselves, because music has a definite psychological effect on us. It can make us feel energized. It can make us feel pumped up, revved up, and ready to go and tackle the world. It can make us feel nostalgic, and we can use it to make ourselves feel better and to feel more confident. Now, movie makers learned a long time ago about the power of music to increase the experience of watching a movie. For example, the theme song to Rocky comes to mind. Always makes me think about getting in a ring and fighting and doing your best, no matter what the odds are. Or the music that went to Chariots of Fire, or the music to Footloose that kind of makes me want to get up and dance just a little bit. And of course, music can do the opposite as well. We all probably remember the Jaws theme, and that evokes a whole other emotion, doesn't it? But that's a whole different conversation. So use music to inspire you, to make you feel energetic, to make you feel fired up, and use that playlist to help increase your confidence so that you feel ready to tackle the world. Tip number 10, building up your areas of weakness boosts your confidence. Now, it's easy to focus on our areas of weakness. And while I would normally suggest that we focus more on our strengths than on our weaknesses, the fact is that when we're feeling low, working on some of those weaknesses to improve them, or working on weak skills to improve them, can increase our confidence levels. It never hurts to work to get better, and I mean that literally. If you're not very good at something, get busy, get to work, work on improving it. Just a little bit now, then just a little bit more, and then just a little bit more. Improve those areas that are not your strongest suit. You can take a class, you can watch videos on a topic, you can listen to educational podcasts, you can learn from a mentor. There are all kinds of ways to improve yourself, to improve your weak areas, and to improve your weaker skills. And working to improve our weak areas, again, makes us feel in control, which then helps to boost that confidence level. The side benefit is that once you have worked and improved that weak area, then you have one less thing to feel insecure about, which again is going to increase your confidence. Increasing your confidence levels really pays some very serious dividends. Feeling better about yourself, remembering past successes, doing what you can to look and feel your best, to improve your weaker areas. All of those things will pay off in the way you feel about yourself and in the way others perceive you. Start small, work on one area, and you'll find yourself then willing to take on more challenging opportunities as they arise because your confidence will have increased. Inner confidence is what gives you the motivation to pursue those things that make you happy and light you up. And in my opinion, that's something worth working for.